sports, politics, and more with John Brown and Nick Durst, live on the UCY.TV network.
All right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports, Politics, and More. Coming to you live tonight from New York City. I am your host, Andrew Powlick. Joining me, as always, is the wonderful and loyal Frank Tadero. Frank, are you there?
I'm here, and I'm ready to go.
All right. So a lot to talk about tonight. We have breaking news in Alexandria, Virginia. Something awful happened. We're going to touch on that. We're also going to talk about, yes, James Comey's testimony from last week, which Frank over there is excited to talk about.
Yep.
And we're also going to talk about the NBA Finals. Is LeBron James' legacy hurt now that he lost this Finals? But let's start off with, of course, the awful event that happened today in Alexandria, Virginia, and talk about it more. Here's Frank.
Yeah, so as everybody now knows, today the congressmen, all Republicans, they were out practicing for baseball. I guess they were playing, getting ready for a friendly game of baseball in the upcoming future, and all of a sudden, before you know it, shots start ringing out. And they hit the Congressman Steve Scalise and others. It's a good thing the Capitol Police were there, and they got into a shootout with the gunman, and the gunman identified as James T. Hodgkinson, 66, from Belleville, Illinois. He died later of his injuries, so I guess we won't find out what he had to say. But these guys, it's always the same thing. We always hear afterwards, he was a normal guy. He was a good guy. You never would have thought. And then the same day, the news reports that they go on the social media, and the guy was a nut. He was a brainwashed nut. There's no other way to say it. There's a lot of brainwashed nuts around here, right, Andrew?
Completely agreed. And the thing about the alleged gunman was that he was actually a former Bernie Sanders. The gunman volunteered for Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign last year. And why would he resort to violence is the question that will
it's not so
never
much,
be answered.
It's not so much who he supported; it's who he was against. And this guy, he is he's reflective of a growing number of people in our country who are being bombarded by negative media, propaganda, as we'll talk about that later. If you go on, read articles. This guy was a late night fanatic. Stephen Colbert, Rachel Maddow from Richard Maddow from MSNBC.
Oh, screw her! Screw her!
See, but what people don't understand is these shows, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, The Daily Show, Trevor Noah.
Hey, Stephen Colbert, your show sucks.
Yes, these people are all comedians, actors who have gone political, and it's all for ratings. They have to keep this the fire burning. The Russia narrative. They have to keep that burning. It gets great ratings. Richard Maddow from MSNBC. Yeah, she's number one. She gets crazy ratings because there's a large part of the country who just loves to, and they eat that up like peas and carrots. And some people, as you know,
well, I'm a no.
What, Andrew?
Well, I was gonna say that Rachel Maddow is what's basically killing journalism. I mean, she's so biased. And you look at, I believe that if I talk about an old tax return from the President of the United States, everyone's going to watch my program every day now.
And listen,
see, that's the problem. The media's brainwashing everyone.
Yes, again, we're going to talk about that later. Propaganda. We've been on the country has been under a bombardment, a propaganda attack for the last year and a half. You go back to her tax return, which was a bomb. That was one of the biggest fails ever in news reporting, and she's still number one. It doesn't matter. Facts don't matter to people who are into that. They just want to hear how bad Trump is, how he's going to get impeached, how all these charges. But the media won't tell you how the economy is really shooting up. Today, the Fed raised interest rates, showing confidence in the economy. They won't tell you things like that. Instead, it's June 14th, and we're still talking about Trump, Russia, and we'll talk about James Comey and it'll tie into this. Which really, after we heard from Comey last week, there is no Russia.
Well,
Trump wasn't kidding. It's a ruse.
Well, I was watching World News tonight, and I was upset that they didn't quickly mention in the instant index that the Fed raised the interest rates today. See, that's the news that I want to hear about. You know, a long time ago, the media would report stuff like that.
They're not gonna...
Now, it's all about Trump watch.
Yes, but Andrew, that doesn't get ratings because, number one, the plebeians, you know what a plebeian is, Andrew?
What's a plebeian?
A plebeian is a commoner. First of all, it doesn't even, they won't understand what that means. The Fed raising the interest rates. And number two, it's not sensational. It won't get them ratings. So,
I care because eventually I might have to get a loan to purchase something, right, and it's going to matter what the rate's going to be.
Well, we care. So that's why we're going to give it to how many listeners are out there tonight? 10 people? 100 people?
Well, I'm going to check if Otto is spamming the chat room right now, because I always like to do that while we're live.
Yes, Otto. So there's a lot of stuff, and later on we'll talk about last night the NBA Finals concluded. But first,
no, it ended on Monday.
What's that?
Ended on Monday.
Oh, is it? Oh, I get my days confused. I was
today's Wednesday.
I was so excited for tonight, but at the 10 of 10 is coming up. So Andrew, what's in store for this week?
Well, the bad news is my computer's acting up, so we have no sound bites yet again.
Okay,
but
we'll work on that.
Yes, but we still have equipment to work with right now. We still have a phone battery that's going crazy, but still functions.
All right.
Make sure I'm still charging my phone.
Any technical difficulties we got to put the kibosh on very fast.
Yeah, well, I'm going to work on it because eventually this computer needs to get fixed. So anyhow.
Take 10. Go ahead.
10 of 10 list. Obviously, E3 just passed. Yes, the annual video game conference that showcases the best in gaming. In this week's 10 of 10 list is top 10 games I am looking forward to playing.
Andrew, you're a gamer, huh?
Yep, big gamer. I've been gaming since the GameCube.
All right. I hope the people are gonna know what these games are. Go ahead. What's the number 10?
We'll do the honorable mentions later. Good idea. So first, let's do the usual rules. Frank always gets to respond from 10 to 1. So here we go. Number 10. We're going to talk about Crash Bandicoot for a sec. Now, most people are not familiar with this franchise. Crash Bandicoot started from the developers of Naughty Dog.
Well,
Basically, they were the ones.
Describe the game. What do we do in this game?
Oh, yeah, right. So basically, you play as this Bandicoot named, I forget what species he is, but you play as Crash.
What? What'd you say? A bandicoot?
Yeah.
What is that? An alien?
Hang on, I'll get my information correctly.
Come on.
Animal Crashes.
We got to move on. Number 9. Come on. If you can't explain it, you got to move on.
I'll try to explain it. You have to pick up the peaches and you damage boxes and you have to defeat your enemy. And basically, this game coming out on June 30th is a re-release of the first 3 games released in this series coming out for PS4.
Okay, number 9.
Alrighty. Number 9. 9. Assassin's Creed Origins.
All right, I've heard of Assassin's Creed. I guess a lot of gamers love this game. It's a popular game.
Yes, this game was revealed at E3 as an announcement from the Ubisoft conference, which will be continuing the popular Assassin's Creed video game series. This game will be released on October 27th.
Andrew, you didn't ask if I was a gamer.
I was going to ask that. Are you a gamer, Frank?
Nah, the last time I played games was 1999.
So you're not into PS4 or Xbox One like I am?
I never got to PlayStation 2. I remember I used to come home in the morning and get some Happy Smoke and start playing NFL 98.
On the PlayStation 1, right?
Yes, with some Happy Smoke.
Oh, boy.
Good.
All right. Number 8. We're going to talk about the Call of Duty series.
Oh, yeah. See, I know this.
Now, coming up this November, Call of Duty is going back to its original roots from World at War and is bringing back the World War series in general and titling it World War II, which will be available in November. And if you pre-order the game, you get exclusive access to the beta.
So you could get to choose the Axis or the Allies.
Basically, I mean, you're mostly on an ally anyway, and they're also going to continue the very popular online zombie mode.
Okay, so you could kill Nazi zombies. Is that what it is?
Yep, that's the catch.
All right, number 7.
Hey, listen, Black Ops 3 is still popular, okay? Even I'm playing it. Number 7, and I'm very excited for this game, believe it or not. The Spider-Man new video game, which will be released in 2018.
Is this Peter Parker or Miles Morales?
I honestly don't know. But I know the graphics look good, and I'm looking forward to playing it.
And I guess this has to do with the new Spider-Man movie coming up, right? Let's
do it a little bit, but I am not sure about the plot.
I'll bet you get to play against the Vulture and Green Goblin.
Yes, you probably do. I have to do my research, but I know I've been looking forward to this game for a very long time. That's for sure. And there was a 9-minute gameplay trailer revealed at E3.
All right. So number 6.
Okay, number 6. We're going to transition into South Park. Finally, after all these years,
what's the What's the whole title of the game?
The Fractured Butthole.
The what?
The Fractured Butthole.
How do you spell?
I will put it in UCY chat angle right now for people to read it.
And what do you do? What do you do in this game? You kick buttholes?
Well, if you let me explain, because you're not good with the gaming, I'm good with the gaming. So here we go. This is basically part of Eric Cartman's Coon. What's the word I'm trying to look for? Coon group, where he assembles superheroes and you play as a new superhero trying to take down the villains from the South Park series.
Who's that?
Well, you try to take down let me make sure I got the information right. Jeez. Because I know Butters is a big villain in the South Park series. It's just that there hasn't been a Butters villain episode in a long time. That's the problem.
Yes. Now, the reason why you don't know too much about these games is because they haven't been out yet, right? These are games that you haven't played yet.
No. I've seen the trailer. It's just that I can't really. Oh, you try to take down Professor Chaos's group.
Okay. That show's still on South Park, right?
You're on Eric Cartman's side.
South Park is still on Comedy Central?
Believe it or not, yes. They had a very good season last year.
How many years is that now? 20?
This will be season 21 coming up in fall.
Wow, okay. That's pretty cool. All right, number 5.
We'll talk about South Park later, just to summarize. Number 5, and I have been finally waiting for this game to come out on the PS4. Thanks a lot, Xbox, for giving us so many Forza games. Number 5. Finally, this was revealed at E3 this past Monday night. Gran Turismo Sport. Basically, this game is a continuation of a very popular Gran Turismo racing series from exclusively on PlayStation. But the catch is, according to the developer, which has a very complicated Japanese name, he claims that this is a special 20th anniversary edition of the Gran Turismo series.
This is a racing game, right?
Basically, it's a very popular racing series.
I know. I'm not that old. So
you remember playing the first 2 Gran Turismos?
No, but I'm sure I have played. So let me ask you, what's the better gaming system in your opinion, PlayStation or Xbox?
Honestly, right now, PS4 is the best.
Why?
Well, because there's more exclusive titles than Xbox.
Okay, well, that's a very
and plus, by the way, Xbox One has no baseball games.
Ah, that sucks. All right, number 4.
That's why I got my PS4.
Number 4.
All right, and this is a game Nick Durst is looking forward to playing too. Number 4, NHL 18.
Yeah, you remember the last time I played, it was NHL 98.
Oh, you and your PlayStation 1 memories.
Oh boy. So what's so special about this new game now? What do you get hit?
Well, the reason why Durst and I are excited for this is to play as the new Las Vegas Golden Knights hockey team.
They got the expansion team. Okay, that's good.
Yes, and in fact, the expansion draft's next week.
Yes, we'll cover that. All right, number 3. The last time I played was also NBA 98.
So you're going back to the old EA games now.
Yeah. They had they had a secret code you could unlock Jordan, but it wasn't Jordan. He was called Air Morris.
Let's see. Yeah, NBA Live 98. I know who you're talking about now.
Air Morris, Air Mo. That was supposed to be Jordan. Go ahead. What's so great about this game?
Which one? NHL 18?
No, NBA Live 18.
Oh, right. So basically, NBA Live 18, to get back onto track, is a continuation of the popular NBA Live series. There was no NBA Live game last year, but we know for a fact that this year they're trying to compete with NBA 2K18 at number 2.
All right, so now explain to the audience what's the difference between these two games. Very
Well, graphics are going to be a key. Who's going to have the better graphics at the end of the day, and who's going to give the better gameplay experience? And you look at 2K.
I saw a trailer for one of these games. They had a story mode where you get drafted and you get your own brand and stuff like that. Which one is that?
Yep. NBA Live 18. That's another reason why it's giving 2K for its run this year.
Okay. These games are hot. Okay, number 1.
All right, and the one that I already pre-ordered this past Monday, Madden NFL 18.
Okay, I definitely probably. Andrew, would you say the Madden NFL series games are probably the most popular games ever?
Yes, and my favorite to this date is still Madden 04.
Why?
Madden 04 was a unique experience.
Why?
Well, because you were able to outrun people as Michael Vick.
Oh, that's all?
Well, it was a very big graphical improvement from the previous games.
Oh, okay. What was Michael Vick running from? The Pipples that he... Yes. All right, so the top 10 and your honorable mentions are what, Andrew?
All right, so a couple honorable mentions.
Very quickly.
All right, a continuation of the Far Cry series, Far Cry 5. We have a pirate game called Skull and Bones. The Crew 2 is a popular racing series that's finally getting a sequel. We have Red Dead Redemption 2 and Uncharted 5, The Lost Legacy.
All right, and Andrew, if anybody wants to talk gaming with you, what's your Twitter handle where you post all the games that you like?
Oh, yeah. So every Sunday I do a video game series called Andy Play. Sadly, my editor's been acting up today. But if you want to see my YouTube gameplay, I have 33 episodes. Andy's Randomness on YouTube.
All right. So that wraps up the 10 of 10 for this week. Very good.
Yes, it does.
Right.
Yes, it does.
So we're done. Now we're done with the game. So let's get back to what Andrew was talking about. Last week, James Comey has a bombshell testimony. Andrew, what did you come away with that?
Oh, I think that it was a waste of time.
I think Comey he's got yellow down his back. He's got a yellow streak down his back. That's what I think.
Well, my problem with James Comey is that it's a battle of who to believe. I mean, we don't know who to believe when it comes to, he said this and he said that. Well, blah, blah, blah.
I don't tend to believe the guy who got fired. And then he went on to reveal about himself. Number one, things like he told, who did he tell? He told the Attorney General Sessions, don't leave me in the room alone with Trump. What the hell is that all about?
It's a bunch of garbage, okay? I mean, when you talk about how Trump and Comey's relationship was, a little bit shaky.
Yeah, well, on whose part? Comey's that's his boss. The president of the United States supervises the FBI director. The president of the United States is the number one executive. He's the number one law enforcement. He is the boss.
Exactly.
So would you tell your coworker, don't leave me alone in the room with my boss?
Trust me, if I told my partner that, she would be wondering, there's a reason why you have to be alone with her.
Right. And then, as we found out,
Thorne for imitating you.
We got two big bombshells, and I'll tell the audience right away. Number one, Comey, he's a leaker. He's the one who leaked.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He wrote number one. He wrote a memo for those people who are not aware. After his meeting, after he met with Trump a few times, he decided that he needed to write down notes about his conversation with Trump, the president. Now, he didn't do that with anybody else. He didn't do that with Obama. He didn't do that with Lynch. He didn't do that with Joe Biden or anybody else. Not that he
yeah, I agree. I mean, that sounds suspicious. Why would you only do it with Donald Trump? That doesn't make any sense.
His justification was he thought that Trump was going to lie. So he's going into it with a bias, and see, Trump is outsmarting everybody because after he fired him, and he fired him because he knew that Comey was a rat. Trump is the media will tell you that, oh, Trump's this, Trump's that. Donald Trump, let me tell you, he's a very wise person. He may not sound it because he has that old New York accent. This guy, he's been in business 35 years. He's met, wined, dealt with the top leaders, the top businessmen, the wealthiest people all over the world. He's been selling them real estate, apartments, and so on. He's a very smart guy. You don't get to be where he got, being stupid.
Well, also keeping in mind here, without Donald Trump, there wouldn't be most of the infrastructure in Midtown Manhattan.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking about him as a wheeler and dealer. This guy, that's why I made fun of it last week when I said about his loyalty, and he was testing him, and Trump was right. Comey. Go back to last year.
Oh, remember, he also wrote The Art of the Deal. I mean, Trump's trying to join the swamp so that way he can learn the insides of, the government.
Right. But go back to last year. Comey testified about the Hillary emails. Remember and he embarrassed himself in front of Congress, saying that, there was tons of evidence that Hillary mishandled and sent and received classified information, but they can't request criminal charges because she didn't have intent. And he embarrassed himself. And then the other one, the Attorney General Loretta Lynch, she did the same thing. And now we find out that Comey revealed last week that Loretta Lynch told him, "Oh, don't call it an investigation. Call it a matter." Well, I guess it's
the problem with that is Loretta Lynch has nothing to do with this anymore.
No, but this is last year. This is why, how about we don't call it a Russian investigation with Trump? We call it the Russian matter with Trump. Basically, they're saying,
what should we name this investigation then? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Andrew, what does the FBI stand for?
Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Right. It's not the Federal Bureau of Matters. It's the Federal Bureau of Investigations. And Lynch, we know that she met with Bill Clinton, Hillary's fake husband, on the plane, on the runway 2 days before. And like I said, these people doubled down and tripled down on Hillary winning the election, and they were going to get rewarded generously for doing all this. But guess what? Trump happened, and now they all ran for cover. So anyway, he leaked a memo to the law professor who lives in my neighborhood, and the law professor leaked it to the New York Times.
Oh. Again, Loretta Lynch can do whatever she wants because she's not Attorney General anymore. Yeah, she can open her own private practice for all I care.
Thank God. But again, shouldn't Comey be brought up on some sort of charges for leaking? He was the FBI director when he took that memo. Those are conversations with the president he had that he leaked. But anyway, the other big bombshell is he said Trump was never he wasn't under investigation all this time.
Well, that's my problem. That's my problem. I mean, why would the president of the United States ask if he's under investigation?
Because he wants to know. It's a good thing. He wants to know, and
to me that doesn't make any sense.
Well, Andrew, if all this was happening to you every day you heard on the news about Russia this, Russia that, and your name. He wants to know if he was under investigation. He has a right to know. And it turned out he was not under investigation. Never was. It was only some people probably from his campaign. And the best moment of last week was when the senator asked Comey.
Well,
everything got leaked.
The problem is that okay?
What?
Frank, you're coming in scratchy.
You're coming in scratchy. But the thing was that the senator asked him, of all these leaks, every day there was leaks about Russia and the investigation. How come, he asked Comey, how come it was never leaked that Trump was not under investigation? So for the last 4 months, everybody has been under the assumption that Trump is under investigation, which is false. And what did Comey say? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we know why. Because
Frank, you're coming in scratchy. Yes.
I could hear you fine. Andrew, can you hear me?
Yeah, Frank, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine, Andrew. Did you hear what I said about
my dad's screwing up with my dad's messing up the internet. I told him to stop it.
Oh, boy. All right. Don't worry about it. All right. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. So anyway, all this Russian
Pay no attention to the
Yeah, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. All this Russia crap that's what it is. It's crap, and they just want to keep this going.
And I said this last week. I said that this is all a media cycle. Okay, that's what it is.
Yes,
it used to never be like this before.
Well, listen, this is the propaganda that I'm talking about, and you got lunatics like this guy today who listens to all the shows in the media, and these idiots, which they are, these idiots actually think that the White House is being overrun, has been compromised by Russia. Trump is a Russian spy. These people are lost.
Well, the problem is, I mean, they don't want to listen to all the other conservative talk shows that I normally would listen to with my dad.
Right. Everybody is closed-minded, and not just I guess what you would say the left or the liberals.
By the way, if Michael Savage is listening, I understand sometimes we disagree on things, but you are a very smart man, Dr. Savage.
Yeah,
you have a very good radio program you've been doing all these years.
Yes.
At least you're trying to diss the media the best you can.
I'm sure Michael Savage is listening to us right now. But anyway, listen. So that's what happened. It's all BS. This whole thing is BS. Listen, if they stop talking about this Russia, now the new thing is the obstruction. They're going to talk about obstruction because there is no obstruction. It's all garbage.
Obstruction of justice. Yeah.
Yeah. The only people that obstructed justice was Comey and Lynch last year. Anyway, so this is all fake news, and it's all propaganda. Like I said, every night we've been hit for the last 16 months with bombardment of propaganda. And what's propaganda? It's false news. It's to get you to believe things.
But let's say we're in an alternative universe now where the witch ended up being president. Would this be going on right now? I'm going to ask you first.
There would be very little in the news. Very little talk about.
Frank?
Yeah, I'm here. There would be very little talk about.
Frank?
I'm here. It's your internet. There would be very little talk about Hillary's scandals. All these anchors and news people, they'd be sucking Hillary's hairy toes and kissing her hairy ankles every night. The Queen, Madam President. So
the witch.
Yeah. So I like I showed you before, Andrew. I found a little article. Propaganda techniques to recognize, and tell me if there's about 7 of them. Tell me if these aren't familiar. Number 1, name calling or stereotyping, which you call somebody, you label somebody. Number 2, virtue words.
Wait, say that again.
Virtue words. Virtue. VIRTUE. Virtue.
Virtue of words.
Virtue signaling.
Virtue of words.
Deification.
You mean twisting everybody's words?
Yes, deification is number 3. That's the climate change. That's it's holy and this.
Well, can I give you an example of how the media tried to, twist Trump's words around. When they say, because everyone's so politically correct, you remember this. Remember when, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 days in 2015 when Trump first announced he was running for president, and all of a sudden they accused him of being a racist because he said when Mexico sends their people, they're not sending their best. And he labeled them.
Yeah, and he's right.
And then the media makes a big circus out of it. And then you have all these people who check social media, and they're so gullible about his words being twisted because the media is doing a good job of it on the social network sites.
Right. The media is.
By the way, Mark Zuckerberg bought the media. Just remember that. Yeah.
The media is run and controlled by the same corporations who back Hillary and the Democrats right now. So that's
Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah,
all the talking points come from San Francisco. I don't know if you know that. The media comes out of San Francisco. Everything comes out of San Francisco. So back to the propaganda. You have words. It's just like you hear now.
I thought everything came out of New York.
It used to be. Not no more. That's and I learned that from Michael Savage. He said that. But all these words, racist, misogynist, Islamophobe, xenophobe, that's propaganda. That's you do that, and what you do is.
Are you talking about racist, sexist, homophobic, Islamophobic, xenophobic, you name it?
That's propaganda. That's straight out of the playbook. You dehumanize somebody.
The witch said that.
Yeah, and she read. Her mentor. It was a big propaganda person, Sal Lewinsky. So when I call you a racist or Islamophobe, I'm dismissing you. You're dehumanized. You can't say anything after that. Now you're on the defensive. Now you have to.
Remember what she also said? She said that you can put half of us in a basket of deplorables.
Yeah, that backfired. But the good news is.
And then she wondered, why wasn't she 50.7?
Yes. Yeah. She's a nut. Listen, the good news is the good guys are winning because the good guys have truth on their side, and we have logic. These people don't. They fail. They're stupid.
Because they're gullible. That's the problem.
But it works. And now last night they came out with the poll. Trump's approval is only below 40%, but they don't mention. And if you look, it's a skewed poll. The Republicans it's 80% or better.
This is still I still criticize Trump sometimes, but to be honest, I'd rather have him as the president than the witch. I'm going to admit that.
Yes. So listen, the Republicans, when they get polled, 80% or more approve of Trump. The Democrats, it's 10% or less approve of Trump. And then you have in the middle, the independents, 30%. So that's the average. So
well, I'm an independent, and I think Trump is doing an okay job. Not a great job, but an okay job. Okay.
And now these are the same polls that had Hillary winning.
It's not great, but it's okay.
Yes.
America's okay right now.
And it's going to get better. And remember those polls that had Hillary winning 98%?
I really can't say. I mean, we're still divided. You have to realize that.
No, we're not. It's Republican and Democrats. And then Trump will win when he gets all those people in the middle, on the fringe, to go vote for him. But anyway, let's wrap up the politics and let's talk about the finals that wrapped up. Andrew, what was your reaction to Golden State winning, closing it out in Game 5?
Well, first of all, let's talk about Game 4 for a sec. I was on the road on Friday night. I was listening to the game on the radio, and I was surprised in the first half that Cleveland was creaming Golden State. I was able to get back to the television for the second half on Friday night, and I was surprised to see how biased the referees are against Draymond Green. I don't know what their problem with him is, but when you look at Game 5 as a whole, the reason why they were able to close out Monday was Durant was Durant in this series, and that's why he played
Cleveland
like an MVP.
Yeah, Cleveland had no defense in Game 5. Golden State.
That's a problem. You're not beating Golden State unless you play defense.
Seth Curry was driving.
Or you outscore them.
Right. Seth Curry, Durant, everybody. They were just driving down the middle. The Cavs were just sticking to their man, and they parted like the Red Sea. And there was.
Well, can I be honest?
What?
No, I'm going to be honest. I was upset that I wanted to see history. You know, I was looking forward to seeing. I was looking forward to seeing history on Friday night. You know,
what's history? What you wanted it to go Game 6?
I was upset.
Why? Because it ended.
No, I wanted them to sweep Cleveland.
Oh yeah, that's pretty hard to do. But Golden State went 15-1. I guess they salvaged themselves as a dynasty now. Three finals, 2 championships. I guess going back to last year, they were up 3-1. They blew it, so that's a little black eye on them. That's their only black eye. But
listen, Golden State's going to be around for a very long time. I just think Cleveland's going to fade out eventually.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it before earlier today. The Celtics next year, I think they're going to dethrone Cleveland. So I think next year is going to be Golden State versus the Celtics. And now the other side of the coin.
The problem is who are the Celtics going to have to beat Cleveland? That's the problem.
Well, it was this year they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and after the first 2 games, they sort of played their game, and they gave Cleveland a little run in the last few games of that series. But next year they're going to be a year better, and they're probably going to improve. They got so many draft picks, first-round draft picks. But I want to talk about LeBron, and I've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks. What's his legacy now that he lost again? Now this makes him 3-5 in the finals. Go ahead, Andrew. What do you think?
Well, I think he's going to be an NBA Hall of Famer no matter what. But in terms of winning the big game, that's going to hurt him.
Yeah, this isn't the first time.
Yeah, but you got to realize something.
What do we have to realize?
You got to realize something, Frank. You have to realize that because LeBron never won the big game.
He's won the big game. He's won 3 titles.
You know, that's going to hurt his legacy.
Andrew, he's won 3 championships.
But still, I mean, people were claiming that he was going to be the next Jordan.
No, he's not. He's not the next Jordan. He's not going to come close to Jordan. I don't care all the records he breaks, whatever, all the accolades he gets. When you talk about all time, you got all time greats. When you talk about the Mount Rushmore, you got to. It's the championships are included, and
I mean Jordan. Nobody can ever replace Jordan. That's the problem. Well, Jordan did stuff nobody ever did before him.
He won. Every finals. He was the MVP of every finals. He put his stamp on all 6 of those finals. He won those finals. LeBron, without Kyrie Irving last year, they don't win. A couple years with Miami with Dwayne Wade, he doesn't win. Now, do I want to defend LeBron? Yes, because he gets his teams, a lot of his teams that he gets into the finals.
Well, remember game 7 of the 2013 finals? There was Ray Allen. He took that shot.
Right. That's okay. Because there was a couple of times when Jordan passed it to Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr hit the game-winning shot. It's okay. That's okay. I'm talking about. See, LeBron, his strength is his curse, because he's so good. He gets his teams to the finals, but a lot of times his teams are not that good without him. Remember when the first year he left Cleveland? Cleveland wound up being one of the worst teams in the league. So, but history will look back. The Eastern Conference is so weak. The NBA is so weak. We talked about this last week. Outside of the Warriors and Cleveland, There isn't a great team.
Frank, you got to remember something. The NBA was weak at another time, and that was during the 1950s and 60s.
Yeah, but that's the old NBA. That was the start of the NBA. That was when there was 4 teams. I'm talking about the modern NBA. The modern NBA, in my opinion, started in 1980. That's when the modern NBA. Yeah. But
I disagree. I thought the modern NBA started when the Knicks won their first championship in 1970.
I think, maybe that was I think the 70s was the tail end of the old NBA. 1980, when Magic and Bird hit the NBA, that's when you could really say.
Remember, people were into the Knicks in New York. People were into them.
Yeah, I know. But listen, before 1980, the finals wasn't even broadcast live. It was broadcast tape delay. So the 80s, one of the best decades of the NBA as far as competition. The 90s, same thing. 2000s was also pretty fierce. The 2010s,
also
garbage.
The 2000s were.
Yeah, the early 2000s was pretty good with the Lakers. And Detroit.
Oh yeah, complete garbage. Well, not necessarily. I mean, when you look at 20, like the only finals I could say that I looked back were memorable were the 2013 finals.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about the 2000s, meaning 2000 to 2009. You had the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe. You had the Celtics with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. You had the Pistons. The Spurs. Those were tough teams. Today, in the last 7 years, the competition in the NBA has gone down. There's nobody really.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I agree. I mean, the NBA now, it's not your mom and dad's NBA now. It's a snooze fest, okay? People are outscoring everybody. There's no more defense. Everybody's just focusing on getting the ball and taking the shot. Where's the defense? Right. What happened to going hard in the paint?
Yeah. Listen, if anybody is doubting what Andrew says, go back and look at the early 90s. Go look at some playoff games between the Knicks and the Bulls from the early 90s. Or the Pistons and the Bulls from the late 80s. There's not a great team today. Outside of, like I said, take away the Warriors and take away LeBron. There's a big drop off.
Yeah, because what happened was LeBron went to a team that was going to be loaded with superstars and was going to help him win a championship. That paid off for 4 NBA Finals appearances, and it won him the championship 2 times. Right. Then he finds out that his team, his hometown team, is rebuilding so that way he can come back and win the championship. Well, it only worked once.
Well, don't think he didn't have that planned all along. But I'm saying there's nobody to challenge LeBron in the East for the last 7 years. No matter what team.
Oh, I completely agree.
The Toronto Raptors, are you kidding me? That's not a great team. That's a very good team. All these teams from the Eastern Conference in the 80s and 90s, they'd be first-round playoff teams that get eliminated. They suck. Next year, maybe the Celtics will get there, but I don't know. What else? Did you watch the NHL Stanley Cup? Hello? Andrew. Oh boy.
Yeah, Frank.
You're the worst. Did you watch Did you watch any of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Penguins and the Predators?
I'm an Islanders fan. I am angry, very angry.
Did you watch any of the games?
Yes, I watched the games. They were exciting, but I couldn't watch Game 6 because I was upset that Pittsburgh won the Cup.
What was the controversy?
I've said it all along.
What was the big controversy in that game with the goal that they took away?
See, I don't remember because I'm upset about the Penguins winning. That's the problem. I care less.
The Penguins, they're another. That's another dynasty. Sidney Crosby, he's an all-time great too. How many Stanley Cups?
Sidney Crosby's a crybaby. He's an ingrate.
Yeah. All the great hockey players are like that until they're on your team. Then you fall in love with them. How many Stanley Cups has he won, Sidney Crosby?
3 Stanley Cups. And I would be annoyed if he came to the Islanders.
Yeah. Listen, I remember. You remember another Penguin, great Penguin, Mario Lemieux. Remember him from the 80s and 90s? Mario Lemieux. Remember Mario Lemieux? He was like the second best player in hockey.
Not that I recall. No.
Go look him up. He was on Gretzky's level, Mario Lemieux. Anyway, this guy was 6'4", 240. When he was on in the offensive zone next to the goalie crease, you could hit this guy with a steel beam and he wouldn't go down. On the other side, as soon as somebody came next to him, the guy would fall down and look like he got shot in the back of the head. They're all like that. All the great players are like that. They all cry. They all want this. They all want the calls against them for them. But you're an Islander fan. The Islanders have been trash for years. I hate to tell you this. Andrew. Oh my God. Anyway, let's move on away from sports. If Andrew comes back, we'll talk more. I want to close the show with another big news. I don't know if anyone's been following it. The Flaming Inferno, the 27-story skyscraper that burned, all 27 stories, the whole skyscraper engulfed in flames. Now you ask, why is this big? It's just a fire. Did it collapse? Did the fire raged on for hours, 3, 4, 5 hours? Did it collapse? No. And what are you trying to say, Frank? Well, just to leave off, we got a few minutes. If you go back to 9/11,